Module Overview. In a world that is rapidly globalizing, yet fragmented by cultural identities, politics, language, and belief systems, the capacity to create with cultural intelligence is not just a virtue, it is a critical competency for every 21st century creator. This module offers a panoramic and deeply analytical journey into cultural diversity, cross-cultural communication, global creative ethics, and the rich tapestry of creative expression across regions and histories. Artistic innovation must move beyond self-expression to become culturally aware, inclusive, representative, and globally resonant. Creators who engage in transnational dialogues, respect cultural nuances, and incorporate intersectional awareness into their work create deeper, more impactful, and socially relevant work. This module will train you to become culturally fluent artists and thinkers, individuals who can navigate, collaborate, and innovate in multicultural environments with empathy, agility, and ethical integrity. Understanding Cultural Intelligence, CQ. Definition. Cultural intelligence is the ability to relate to and work effectively across cultures. Components of CQ. Cognitive, CQ. Knowledge of cultural systems, traditions, norms. Motivational CQ. Interest and confidence to adapt cross-culturally. Behavioral CQ. Capacity to behave appropriately in culturally diverse settings. Metacognitive CQ. Self-awareness and adaptability in cultural interactions. CQ versus IQ versus EQ. Cultural intelligence as an innovation amplifier in global creative industries. Cultural literacy in artistic practice. Understanding context, history, and symbolism across cultures. Avoiding stereotypes, tokenism, and cultural reductionism. Identifying cultural signifiers in art, design, music, film, and fashion. Learning from indigenous knowledge systems, oral histories, ritual arts, ethnographic observation as a creative research tool. Cultural humility, continuous learning, unlearning, and relearning. Global creative landscapes and movements. Overview of diverse artistic philosophies and aesthetic frameworks. African visual traditions and storytelling. Indigenous symbolism and nature-based design. Eastern calligraphy and visual minimalism. Latin American surrealism and magical realism. South Asian pattern and ornamental aesthetics. Western experimentalism and abstraction. Islamic geometric abstraction and calligraphy. Caribbean visual metaphors and rhythm, cross-cultural fusion. Benefits and challenges. Emergent global styles in music, art, literature, fashion, gaming. Creative expression in the diaspora and post-colonial contexts. Post-colonial theory and the decolonization of artistic canons. Diasporic identity and transnational storytelling. Afro-diasporic creativity, Afrofuturism, Afrobeat, Black speculative art. Intersectional creativity, race, gender, sexuality, ability, class, and belief. Migrant aesthetics, exile narratives, and borderlessness in art. Global South perspectives, in contrast to Western mainstream narratives. Intercultural communication and collaboration. Language as a carrier of creative nuance, nonverbal cultural cues in performance, gesture, ritual, and expression. High context versus low context cultures. Respecting silence, symbolism, protocol, time orientation, cross-border collaboration in film, music, tech, and literature. Diplomacy in creative exchanges. Inclusion, equity, and value sharing. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI in creative industries. Definitions and distinctions. Diversity, not equal to inclusion, not equal to equity. The business case and ethical imperative for DEI. Representation in leadership, narratives, visuals, and authorship. Inclusive design, universal access to creative products and experiences. Dismantling biases in curation, critique, funding, and platforming. Accessibility for people with disabilities. Digital, spatial, experiential design. Ethics of cultural exchange, adaptation, and appropriation. Cultural appreciation versus cultural appropriation. Guidelines for ethical borrowing and remixing. Issues of power, privilege, and historical imbalance, collaborative consent and attribution. Case studies: fashion controversies, music samples, stolen motifs, copyright, traditional knowledge, and collective cultural property rights. Building global creative citizenship. Art as a form of diplomacy, advocacy, and bridge building, engaging in global creative festivals, residencies, collaborations, leveraging tech for cross-border cultural production, Zoom performances, NFT art, VR exhibitions, fostering global awareness, think global, act local, activating art for peace-building, social justice, and sustainability, platforming and elevating marginalized voices, gatekeeping in traditional and digital art systems, tools to amplify underrepresented creators, inclusive storytelling and participatory art, the politics of voice, who tells the story, who gets heard, community-centric curation and grassroots creative movements, funding models for equity-driven creative ecosystems, tools, models, and frameworks. CQ, self-assessment, toolkit, cultural fusion, canvas, ethical adaptation checklist, intercultural collaboration, charter DEI, audit for creative projects, inclusive story design, toolkit cultural ecosystem, mapping tool key takeaways. Cultural intelligence is a core driver of empathy, relevance, and innovation in creative work. Diversity must go beyond token representation. It should inform narrative, process, and outcome. Creators must be critical, ethical, and intentional in how they engage with cultures other than their own. Global creativity requires cultural literacy, collaboration, and responsibility. The future of artistic innovation is inclusive, intersectional, and globally integrated.